be X or Y direction, or left and right may be Y or X direction. Always Z will be vertical, spindle vertical. Spindle vertical will be Z. Then in the CNC turning, please don't say it is a lathe. Then CNC turning machine. What is the turret and capstan lathe? What are those? Turret and capstan lathes. Turret lathe, and you heard of them, no? Turret lathe and capstan lathe. Turret and capstan lathe, in place of chakra, just like different, so many tools will be there. These tools will be performing the jobs. Turret and capstan lathe. You happen to see, just go and see once. And even your normal lathe also, bed also can be splitted. Here it is there or not, I don't know. The guideways can be removed, half of the guideways can be removed, and we can vacate the in-between space and we can fix a bigger diameter job also. That facility is also available in the lathe. Okay, you can observe them. Okay, and in CNC turning centers, always the Z direction will be always Z direction will be along the axis of the workpiece. Z direction will be along the axis of the tool in case of milling machine. Correct? No? Along the axis of the cutter, the Z axis will be there. And perpendicular to that, the two axes will be X and Y. In case of the CNC turning centers, along the workpiece axis, it is Z axis, and the X axis will be a step turning or something like that. Okay, Z and X both together it will be preparing the taper. Okay, and fixed zero and floating zero already we come across. The fixed zero is the coordinate system which will be provided by the manufacturer for a particular CNC systems. Okay, it will be always to the right bottom portion of the CNC table. This is the zero coordinate or the reference coordinate for the milling machines. And float zero is wherever you flexibly want, you can fix the float. Okay, and absolute zero and incremental zero, already we have discussed them. Absolute zero, always you try to take suitable example and write. Absolute zero is a particular reference will be taken to show the measurements, and incremental is, as the name indicates, incremental. We are going to take the previous point as a reference to describe the next position. And there are two, both the ways are available. Both the programmings are available. The incremental and absolute, the programmer can select any one. But always, whenever you are going to do the machining of the complicated shapes, therein there will be more, it will be having more chances that we may do small mistakes when you go for the incremental position. Because in between, anywhere you do small mistake, that mistake will be replicated over entire dimension. From there, what are the dimensions you are going to do? Okay, so always the programmers will be preferring the incremental, no absolute programming they are preferring instead of incremental programming. Both the ways can be used. Both can be used. And CNC motion control systems. CNC motion control systems. There are three important motions. One is PTP, point to point, and another is continuous path and straight line. PTP, straight and contour or continuous path. Okay, these are the very important. The CNC motions. The three, these under these three, definitely you'll get one in the examination. You can see that. In a robot also, so many questions. Without them, no other questions will be given. Repeatedly, those questions will be asked. Okay. So in CNC motions in the sense, again these will be given by G codes. G codes will be used to define the motion of the or planning of movement of the tool over the work surface will be defined by the G force. And this application of this point to point, straight line or straight cut and contour, all these will be based on the shape or the type of the work which you are going to do the machining. For example, you take one case wherein I am going to do the machining. I am going to do the machining. So I am interested in these 4 holes only on this job. So already the point has been defined, the pitch will be defined. Whenever you are going to do the circle or any drilling you are going to do, you are going to take, what you are going to take? I want to do the 4 holes. I want to do 4 holes in a rectangular piece. What you are going to take? Pitch. The distance between the 2 holes will be pitched. And the diameter which you are going to take. Pitch is important. Okay. If I want you to do the drawing for this, you are going to show the pitch between these two. The distance between the center to center hole, the center position of one hole to the next position of the hole. This will be giving you the pitch. So, in this case, please look at the explanation. In this case, the tool how it is traversing from the hole position to the center point, it doesn't matter. I wanted the tool to be positioned at the point where I require to do the drilling. And in between what type of path it is traversing and it is jumping from here to there, doesn't make any difference for me. But it has to be traversed in the air. So here in this case, we will be using the point to point motion. One point to the other point. So if you earlier that hole was drilled, that point to the next pitch point, it will be moving. Okay? And this is called point to point. In between the geometry or trajectory, whatever the motion it is performing, it doesn't have any meaning. I wanted the initial position and the final position of the tool. That will be a point to point motion. And preferably this method or these motions will be used for the multiple drilling operations, not single. Whenever I need to do so many holes in the job, and I can use this method, PTP method can be used. If you are going for the straight cut or contouring, what happens? Slowly it will be going. So what happens if you have the contoured motion doesn't have any application, correct? No? Unnecessarily it will be wasting the time. MFG will be increased and machine cost will be increased because unnecessarily the tool will be slowly moving. To perform a job of 5 minutes and it will be moving for half an hour slowly. Is it required? It is not required. A defined path is not required for me. It simply is going in the air. It is not required. Correct? It is not doing any kind of machining. So initial point and the final points will be important. In gas drilling, it will be used. So many drilling you have to do. With central diameter you are going to define so many moves you do. That time we will be using the PTP motions. Jumping. PTP is one point to the next point. Only the third position of the 2 points will be defined. In between what motion, acceleration, velocity doesn't have any, it's not. And the application will be with suitable example explain the different motions of the NC or NC motion. The first one PTP, it is a multiple drilling operation to be used. And the next one is a straight cut. Who has written this? Aisha. What are those asymptotes? Asymptotes? What are asymptotes? Poles. Poles ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What are poles? What are poles? So straight cut motion. Here, while it is moving, it will be taking the tool will be taking the reference of any one axis. Either it is taking the x axis or y axis, not z axis. Already the z axis the profile is defined. Only while traversing x and y axis, it will be taking the reference of any one axis. You can see this movement is z and this is x, y, x, y. Now, the tool will be taking the reference of x, then it will take the reference of y, and again x, and again. This will be used for the end milling purpose. When you are going to the end milling, correct? You are going to the end milling, like this case. So, for the end milling, this straight cut motion is used. It will be having once at a time one control path or one control motion. The control motion may be along this direction or maybe this direction. Then we will control for this like this. This will be done. And contour motion, as the name indicates, contour. Contour is very it is not having the reference. It is not having the reference of x axis or y axis like this. You see here, contour is, or it will be like this. So once at a time, while it is you are going to come like this, you can see if it is like this, all this will be x axis, all this will be x axis. If it is like this, what happens at different locations? I cannot show. It is taking the reference of one axis, it will be taking the reference of both axes. Sometimes it will be taking the reference of the axis, and it is not correct. It is taking the reference of 6 axes. 6 axis robot or 6 axis drilling machines and 12 axis of the very clear complicated shapes can be generated. You cannot imagine this can be. Only by using 3D printing machine, I can create very good sphere. Why it is not possible in the drilling machine? Very easy to create. Contour is taking the reference of at least 2 axes from certain time. Whenever you want to create the complicated shapes or complicated movements that can be used. And you can write the reference figure also. You can see straight cut motion, it is taking the reference of one axis, either x or y axis. And you can see that the contour MC is whenever you are going to remove some material, very complicated shape, then it is not taking the reference of x or y axis. It requires at least minimum 2 axis reference it is taking. So that time it is called as contour motion. This will be used for the milling, end milling, and even these CMM coordinate measuring machines will be using the CNC codes, G codes and M codes. Earlier we have seen some statues they do, very complicated statues they do, and the person he do this one work, he will be taking the order and keep it for years together. Today, you take any Sai Baba or some Ganesh, any shapes you take. In marble, they do by using the CNC machines, they will be doing these statues also. Have seen? All these statues will be made by using the CNC machines. And here today you can find CNC wood cutting machines. Very designs to do. Earlier the artwork it was. They are taking these days together. If you morning and after 10 minutes you can connect your wood back with the statue. And even you can find some painting, wall painting machines. Have seen wall painting machines? The rail-like structures they put, and just like a printer, it will be moved, and it will be moving very good painting. Just like your printing, whatever the sceneries or whatever the designs you want, it will be printed over the wall. That is also one business in the market. All these you must have to remember them so that you can able to think what best I can do. So those are the three important motions. PTP, point to point, state cut, point to point, multiple drilling operations, state cut, end milling operations, contouring. It is very complicated shape, contour shapes you will be using this. Very simple. And you can write the simple figure and explain it. And what are the advantages of going for CNC machines?